Jai Satchidanand. I bow to pure soul within all of you. Jai Satchidanand.
She is a beginner. She only read 2 books, Who Am I and Self-Realization. So she could not understand why the Akram Vignan is considered a science, a scientific method. She would like to understand what are the fundaments for this understanding.
To realize who am I, there are 2 paths. One step by step, step by step, step by step. We have to eliminate all impurities, anger, pride, deceit and greed, attachment, hatred, and finally we can get realization of our own pure soul. That is one path. And second path, this is called Akram Science. By grace of enlightened person, directly we are getting knowledge of our own self, who am I. I will give you one example. Suppose some dirty water is there. We want to, and we are able to clean water. We will put some filter and so, and lastly we can get pure water. But pure hydrogen and oxygen can be separated from this pure water. So by filtering or by removing impurities, still we cannot get pure atom of hydrogen and oxygen. Water is drinkable, all impurity we have removed. But scientific process, some scientist is there and he make scientific process, experiment. So he put some chemical and lastly, and he will get oxygen separate and hydrogen separate. All dirty water remain as it is, but by chemical process, scientific experiment, he can get pure oxygen as well as pure hydrogen in the same dirty water. It is possible or not? By scientific process, hydrogen and oxygen can be separated in dirty water. And by putting so many filters, we can purify water, dirty water, but still we cannot get pure hydrogen and oxygen. So worldly religion is like, they are like removing impurities from water. And lastly, when they get separated hydrogen and oxygen, only at the time they will get hydrogen pure and oxygen pure. And in this Akram Science, we are not removing any impurities in that, and only by chemical process or say scientific experiment, we are getting pure soul separate and body complex, karmic account is totally separated. So that's why this is called scientific process.
Thank you. First, she thanks for being here, and she said that part of her question was already answered. But the remaining portion of the question is the following. Should she understand that this process of awareness of pure soul, it's being spread out now? So her question is, when we reach a point that a lot of people have been benefit from this process, and a lot of people have come to acquire this conscious of pure soul, if this will have an impact in terms of evolution for the humankind, in the same way that in the science, when you have a biological evolution, if a lot of people start to have this human pure soul awareness, if we are going to have a new kind of human being with a new quality, That's her first question.
There are so many people that are taking this jnana, self-realization, and once they get inner bliss, happiness, they feel everybody should get this knowledge. So every people, when they get experience by this spiritual science, they feel their friends and families should get, and worldly people should get this knowledge. So slowly, that awareness in all Mahatmas who has taken Dada's Jnana, they pray for worldly salvation. And that will, by this Akram Science, worldly people definitely will get happiness. So world salvation is going to happen, and this is by Akram Science. Definitely it is going to happen. And this biological process of evolution, it won't change, whatever, but understanding of people will going to change. When father and mother, they don't have inner conflict between each other, then children definitely have better psychological effect. So slowly they can understand how to live without conflict, how to avoid clashes, how to remain with a proper right understanding and adjust with people. So that is going to happen. So biologically development remain as it is, but understanding of people will change. They won't hurt each other, then morality, sincerity will come, honesty will come. So these are the quality of human is by this Akram Science, these qualities are going to develop. You understand?
Yes. Her second question was whether the pure soul is an individual, singular thing, of the pure soul in each one of us is part of something bigger than us.
No, his identity remains individual. Every soul is separate. They will not merge with each other. Each and every soul, in every living being, all are individual soul. Their identity remain individual. After liberation, all souls never merge with each other. They feel they can experience their inner happiness individually. So identity of each soul remain separate. Your soul, my soul, every soul are separate. Infinite soul in this world, all are separate. But they will not merge with super soul or anything, God or any. They remain individual. They experience individual happiness. In worldly people, they experience individually happiness or unhappiness. After liberation, soul remain in bliss all the time, and that experience is also individual, not with sharing with each other.
Thank you. She's very grateful for being here. She thanks everybody that help her to be here today. Her question is about the concept of the doer, because the traditional religions, they have this concept that God created the world, God created the good, God created the bad, the evil. And that's something that always, she never understood that very well. She's starting to get the idea of that there is no doer, that God is not the doer. And she liked the example of the tea, because when you make a tea, you have the leaves, you have the hot water, You have the fire, and then you say, well, I made the tea. So it's the ego that says that. So she wants to understand more about this doer, the concept of the doer.
Suppose God has created this world, then logic will say, who created this God? And who created that thing? So contradiction will start. Once we say God is creator, and other side we say we are charging karma, we have to suffer our karma. So karmic theory and God is creator is total contradiction. God is creator, then we all are puppets. Whatever God wish, we have to suffer bad or good, anything. But we cannot charge karma and we cannot get result of whatever we have charged. We will get result of discharge by discharge karma. So that charge and discharge will not happen if God is creator. Because God is going to create whatever we have to suffer. So there will not be any salvation or liberation. Karmic theory says if we charge karma, then definitely we have to rebirth and get suffering by discharge karma. And if we stop charging of new karma, then definitely after finishing discharge karma, we will get liberation. So God is doer, then liberation, charging of karma, discharge of karma is not going to happen. And karmic theory says God is inner pure soul, is a God. We don't know who am I. That's why, due to ignorance of pure soul, we believe that I am Jivavanya, then we are believing that I am doer. It is happening, and we are believing that I am doing. Due to that wrong belief, we are charging new karma. Once we know who is the doer, who am I, then by that awareness, we can stop charging of new karma. When we finish all discharge karma with equanimity, then we will get salvation. So soul is a God. But due to ignorance, we are not experiencing our pure soul within us only. So, by spiritual science, we can understand this soul is not, means God is not doer of anything in this world. It is by viewpoint, by Christians' viewpoint, by worldly people's viewpoint, they believe that God is doer. But really, inner pure soul is a God, and God doesn't have any property of doership. It is just a light. This illumination gives light. So light gives illumination. By this illumination we can read, we can do work. Just like inner pure soul is giving light only. But this light is not doing anything. It is giving just light, illumination. Due to ignorance of pure soul, ego gets generated. And ego has intellect. He feels this is good, this is bad, this is comfortable, this is bad, disadjustment. So, due to good and bad, hatred and attachment, affection, ego is charging new karma. And he has to suffer taking by new birth, and he has to suffer all whatever he has charged. Once we know ourselves, then ego will dissolve and liberation will start. When we finish all discharge karma with equanimity, ultimate liberation we will get. So, by this spiritual science, we can understand what is reality, how the karma is charged, and how to come out from charging of new karma. You understood?
Thank you. Her first question, Gnani, is about the difference between feelings and emotions. She observed you today, and she noticed that you are not very emotional. She did not saw you displaying emotions. Even like sometimes people were emotional for some reason, laughing, you were remained calm. She would like to know if this is because you are not identified with your emotions anymore, and if this process will be available to us as soon as we take the Gnana Vidhi, or if it's going to be available immediately, or if it will take some time until we are going to cleaning all the emotions and becoming less identified with the emotions.
See, emotions and smile, everything, feeling remain as it is. But only separation between this physical body and pure soul is started. So physical body means this Deepak, file 1, he has emotions or smile or say feelings, everything with this body, physical complex. This has all the things are there, emotions, feelings, smile, everything is there. But I am totally separate from these feelings, smile or these emotions. So I am as a pure soul, knower and seer what Deepak is feeling, what his emotions, why his, everything is there. So both are separate. So for you also, by this self-realization, you also can experience Jordana is separate and you are pure soul. So Jordana has feeling, emotions, everything will be there. But you are now started separating from Jordana. So this is also possible for you also. As soon as you take Gnan and if you practice Dada's 5 Agnas, that will help you to keep separation with Jordana. Jordana has emotions, feelings, everything will be there. Attachment with friends and family will be there. But you are separated from these feelings and attachment. You are knower and seer of everything with Jordana. You understood?
If it is possible that someone during the ceremony of Gnana Vidhi receives the almost complete enlightenment in the same form that Dada Shri received it, because he received in 48 minutes his enlightenment. Is it possible that someone here, especially someone that is already in the spiritual path, to receive that level of enlightenment?
Knowledge is same given to everybody. But due to this karmic account, discharge account of karma, this experience will vary. Dada Bhagwan, from so many lives, he was in search of this science. And he want to get knowledge of self and he want to help worldly people for world salvation. So for so many lives, he has same intention, same thinking of this knowledge. And we are having, due to this karmic account, worldly, so many relations and business, and so many, our karma is there. So within 48 minutes, we are getting right understanding. But our awareness is only 15%, say. A belief means a right understanding, we are getting 100% immediately after Gnan Vidhi. but experience is only 2%. While Dada Bhagwan, he got experience 100% immediately. Because of our karmic account is not cleared, now we will solve with equanimity. Slowly, slowly we can progress in spiritual path. Experience of pure soul will increase after finishing our discharge karma. It will take time, but we can have experience, awareness and right understanding immediately. But level of both are total different. Dada Bhagwan has reached immediately full stage. We are just, our journey will start. But we can also reach to that stage within 1 or 2 life by finishing all discharge karma. And last question.
You already answered that question.
No, but answer is now pending. Here awareness is, I am pure soul. It is an interim government stage. And I am God is a full stage. So when we finish all our karmic account, all files with equanimity, then we will reach to that stage, I am God. But now I am pure soul is an interim government stage, or say with file. The stage is I am pure soul, and without file is absolute stage of God. So there are 2 different stages. Understood?
Thank you. He says good night, and he has 3 questions. The first question is that usually all the science, they have fundaments. So he would like to understand what are the fundaments, philosophical, religious, ethical, moral, of Akram Vignan.
The foundation of Akram Vignan is intense, deep humility, which gives you the sense that I am lower than the lowest in this world. And the second one is I am one with all of them.
You understood?
His other question is regarding this, that we learn that there is no development without sacrifice and effort and a straight path. So he's asking whether this shortcut, this fastest track of Akram Vignan, it's correct, because we also learned that the shortcuts are not always the best paths. I'm sorry, just to add something, and specifically regarding Akram Vignan, if this shortcut that reduces or suppresses the karma, it's correct.
Suppose you want to go to airport and you don't know, then somebody, he knows the right way, he can help you. So you can reach immediately to airport. It's like that. Enlightened person, he know about pure soul. He know about who is the governing all this universe. And he has experience. So by grace of that person, immediately we can get that knowledge. And when we apply that knowledge, we also get such result of happiness and out of charging new karma. So in worldly life, experienced person, by grace of experienced person, immediately people learn something in worldly life also. So this is shortcut that helps how to stop charging of new karma. And he has come out from charging of new karma, and he finished all discharge karma with equanimity. By grace of experienced person, we also get the same knowledge, and if we apply this knowledge, we'll get same experience of pure soul, and we can also come out from discharge karma we can also stop charging of new karma. Same thing we can also experience by grace of enlightened person.
His last question is, who we are, what's the purpose of life, where we are going after this life ends, and if in this next realm we will have a different mission than we have here.
Who am I? If you don't know, that is called ignorance. And due to ignorance, we are binding karma and we have to get suffering of that karma. And we have to take new birth for suffering of that karma. Once you know who am I, and if you have that awareness, oh, I am pure soul, I am not doer, I am knower and seer, then automatically you are not going to charge new karma. So you will achieve goal of life, and that is called ultimate goal of life is to get liberation from cycle of birth and rebirth. So here we are giving knowledge of self-realization as well as who is the doer for this happening. That knowledge will stop charging of new karma. He can also finish all discharge karma with equanimity. So when we are not charging new karma, then automatically new birth will not take place. And when we finish all discharge karma, we have not charged new karma, then we will get liberation, ultimate liberation. So that is goal of life, and here we will achieve goal of life by grace of Dada, Bhagwan and this spiritual Akram Science.
After we reach final liberation, is there any other mission for us, human beings?
No, then birth and rebirth cycle finish. Soul without atom, without karma, without body, lives for everlasting, infinite times, and seeing whole universe as a knower and seer, and remain in a infinite bliss all the time, permanently.
He wants to know if all the knowledge, the wisdom, and all the spiritual growth that he acquired in this material life, in our life here, if we finish here or if we take this after our death, always evolving, or we reincarnate at the same level in that we were before.
Now this knowledge, wisdom, spiritual evolution, everything goes with pure soul in next life. Only physical things, by experiencing five senses, worldly things remain here when we leave this body. But knowledge or ignorance, wisdom, spiritual evolution, development, everything comes in next life with pure soul. And suppose from 1 mile to 100 mile is journey of pure soul. At the 100 mile is a total liberation is there. So in this development, suppose somebody is on 20 mile. So next life he will come again on 20 mile and spiritual development take place. So 22, 23, 25 mile. In this life he has developed, spiritual development take place up to 25 mile. And he leave this body. Again next life his development starts from 25. So after means just suppose you are in office, your work, whenever doing some work, whatever work today you have finished, something is pending, something is set 20% finished, something 40% finished, something 90% finished. Then you come to home. Next day when you go to office, same work you will continue. 20%, 40, 60, 90%, everything work remain as it is. You will continue, you will finish next day. So between 2 days there is a night. Very similarly, between 2 life there is a death. But spiritual development remain as it is in next life. Knowledge, spiritual development, wisdom, everything will come. Understanding, ignorance, everything will come. Or also we can say anger, pride, deceit, greed will come in next life. And this knowledge of self-realization, if we are getting in this life, that also will come in next life. You understood?
His second question is, he refers to what you mentioned, that at one point all the human beings will live in harmony and in love. We will evolve to reach that level. And his question is, we will reach that level of harmony by means of studying, or we will need the outside intervention. For instance, there's strong belief on people that study the extra-terrestrials, how to say that? Extra-terrestrial beings, that they believe that those beings from other planets will come here to help us. And he wants to know if those beings have to come for us to reach that state, or if we'll be able to reach that state without that.
No, nobody comes from outside. Only your understanding, your knowledge will help you for your development, your effort, your understanding and knowledge. And nobody, whatever you are suffering in this life, is also your, whatever you have made causes in past, you will get effect in this life. Nobody is responsible for our effect. Nobody outside, any living creature or anything will come and help us. That is not possible. According to your karmic account, somebody may hurt or somebody may help. It is happening. But your causes will be, you have whatever made in past, that you have to suffer in this life. Anybody may become instrument to give your effect of your own causes.
He is also asking whether the celestial beings would help one towards attaining peace.
The celestial beings do help if one has worshipped a celestial being, and if there is an account with that celestial being with the person on earth now.
You understood?